Hi everyone.
Hi.
Um, another week down. Even the boring weeks. I mean, I would not call this week boring, but even the weeks that seem straightforward end up not being straightforward, which is so
Yeah,
interesting.
very true.
Um, I yeah, let's just dive in. My
Let's
brain
dive
is in
in.
1,000 different places due to not big brother things, so
Starting as always with
let's
Amanda.
go that way. Starting with Amanda. Okay. Amanda, here's the thing with Amanda. I think sh I don't know. I feel like I've said this every week now. She's been playing a lot of this game of like, I don't really know what's going on. I just want to be on the right side of the vote. And like, that's not what she means. Like, she does mean to be like pushing things in the direction that she wants it, but like, she's using an angle of like, I don't really know what's going on. And I think people are just like sick and tired and done with that. And she's like lost all of her allies because of it. And this week they heard that like Matt was throwing a sympathy vote for Sean, so then Sean got the pleading with Amanda and Faven going against Liz and Luke. And Amanda was like, great, we're gonna like flip and it's gonna be great. And then Matt didn't vote with them. And she was like, Matt, you lied to me again. And Matt was like, no, don't put this on me. I didn't lie to you. I never said I was doing this. You heard that I was possibly doing a sympathy vote, and then you tried to flip it and like use me. So I don't think she fully sees it that way. I don't know. Like it's just it's constantly a mess for Amanda. Yeah, I don't know. Um I think of her, Faven and Ryan, she's the least likely boot now. Um, so I'll go up to a 4 for that reason. But
Yeah, I'm gonna stay at my four for the week. I mean, not a good week. And I mean, in particular, she wanted to keep Sean. Uh, but I agree. I think she's gonna be kind of taken to the end of this point. I don't know if she's gonna get many votes.
I don't think she'll be taken to the end. I don't see Amanda sitting in, like, realistically speaking, I'm assuming, and this is just an assumption, that like the Liz and Luke side of things will reign supreme. And I think that I think it's more likely that like people like Brandon and Matt will be taken to the end than Amanda. So I foresee her being cut somewhere at 5 or 4 if I had to make a guess.
All right, well, four for Amanda. Oh, all right, there we go. Brandon.
Um, okay. I've given Brandon a lot of high remarks for this season, but unfortunately for Brandon, love him down. But those remarks are coming to a crashing halt because this was a bad week, but B, like an actively, or not even like it wasn't an actively bad week, it was a passively bad week. He is so concerned about Luke and only Luke, and he just has lost sight of literally everything else, I feel like, where it's like, even now in his dining room, it's like everything is framed through the idea of like whether or not he's with Luke or not. And it's like, Brandon, there are other people in the game. I feel like we need to start actively working with them. It was even on the point where like I feel like his campaign was like, oh, like Lucas like saying like, okay, like we've got you. And he was like, okay, I trust you. But then like he would like go to Faven and like Faven would go to him, wanting to keep him, wanting to do what Ryan wanted and wanting to keep Brandon. It was like, Brandon, I want to keep you, but like I do want to talk. Like, who are you putting up if you stay? And Brandon's like, I don't really know. I'd have to like talk
Mm.
around to the house and I haven't really made up my mind. And Faven's like, okay, like, and for that reason, I'm going to vote you out because I can't do this wishy-washy bullshit. Like,
Especially
you're either
second
with me or against
too.
me. And the fact that you, like, he should have just said, I'm like, shit, say names, say any names. Um, I think whereas he once could have had a really strong winning argument, I just think that's slowly slipping down the drain because I both think the perception of him is that he's not doing anything. And now his active gameplay is he's like fumbling the bag in weird places. And I think just is like number two to Luke. He's like the worst Luke. I hate to say it. I hate to say like the worst Luke, but like I said it, and that's what I'm saying. So I was at a five. He was on the block, n like almost went home. Yes and no. The vote was close, but the votes were not flipping.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
I wouldn't say that. Matt was one of the first votes that he was saying in his diary room initially.
that who was saying in his room.
Matt was saying.
Yes, but Matt's whole argument the whole time was like, I want Sean to stay, but I'm not gonna cross this and Luke. So let me see if I can convince this and Luke. And he was never flipping without Liz and
All
Luke's
right, what's your score?
permission. I'm going down to a four as well for Brandon.
I think for this week I'm gonna go down to a three. Uh, I think he could have stayed almost. I think he could have stayed unanimously, and the fact that he fucked it up almost to the point where he went home, I think was really bad. I'd be interested to see how he finishes out the game though, but I don't know if there's beating like the strong powerhouses right now. To be honest, we'll see. Faven.
Haven. Yeah. Yeah. I love Haven so much. Haven's awesome. Um, Haven's running out of rope, and I think the fact that she was yet again on the wrong side of a vote after attempting to flip it, like this is a tale as old as time for Faven at this point, and a lot of people, but like especially Faven. Um, I just think she is continuously being pushed on the outs and outs and outs. And while she does have a good case if she gets to the end, I think that how we've seen Faven perform in some of these season trivia comps so far, I'm a lot more confident that people like Liz and Luke and Ryan are going to do in them moving forward. And most of those people are not with Faven. I don't see what her path to the end is unless she really shapes up on her notes. Um, Plus being on the wrong side of the vote, I don't think she's in a great spot, and I have to move, unfortunately, down to a three for Faven, I think, because this just was not it.
Yeah, I'm
This
gonna do a
wasn't
three.
it.
I'm gonna do a three as well. I really hope that she can kind of wiggle out of the situation because Faven, I really, really, really would like to see in the final days of this game. I would love to see Faven win the game, um, but unfortunate flip attempt didn't work out. Didn't really like wasn't really looking good for her before that anyway. So Faven's threes this week. Haven. Okay, Liz. Liz, I feel like we heard a lot of nothing from Liz last week, which was good.
I mean, she was busier, but at the same, it was a lot of nothing, but it was a lot of, like, I don't know, she had a lot of good conversations. Like,
I was just saying
Liz
I
is
didn't
at
think
the
she
point,
needed to. I didn't think we needed to see a lot from her.
yeah, I think it was good. At this point, this season, I like it's not that other people are out of it in the sense of like they haven't been playing well and they don't have a chance, because people like Faith and people like Ryan have been playing well and they do have a chance if they do get to the end. But they're so far on the outs, and the other people I think are so far not winning it that I think, and again, there's still more to happen, and comps can first fall a certain way. But in my mind, right now, as of this moment, we're looking at Liz and Luke here, and it's kind of a race as to which one of them can take it. Right now, I think Liz is probably winning jury perception wise. However, I think Luke is probably winning in a realistically able to get to the end and clutch it out kind of way. Talking about them each individually, Liz has really strengthened, I think, her bonds with the side of the house that she kept with Brandon and with Matt this week. She's got Luke as her number one. She's clocking Luke for the threat that he is, and knows that she's eventually going to have to do something about it, whether that be Final Four, Final Three. She has a good read on the game, um, and I think she is in the second strongest position. Um, the only thing with Liz is like if the other side were to win power, she is the boot. She is the one that is most likely to leave, and for that reason, I can't give her the highest score. Um, and when I say the highest score, I mean like out of everyone here, I can't give her the highest one, but I'm still going to be, again, at this point, a lot of my rankings are based on if you were to get to the end, what is your likelihood of winning if you have a good shot to get to the end? And I think Liz does have a good shot, and I think she has a great shot at winning. I'm going to be raising my score up to a seven
Me too,
for
yes.
Liz this
Seven
week.
for Liz. I mean, it is crazy that we are in the final eight on a Ryan HOH, and he has been pushed so far and so far to be annoyed by other people that Liz touches the block, I guess, but not for the reason of like he wanted to nominate her. Oh, so crazy. Um, and so I would really like to see Liz win, especially as she was someone that I feel like in the early days, being like the first week of the game when the houses were split, we were like, she could be going here and it would be fine and all that. And
She could have been, she should have been the first boot.
should have been the first boot. Had a really great pre-jury and early jury. Kind of lost it a little bit the last few weeks, but is really regaining with the help of Sean being so poor, is really regaining her chance to get at the end. I think so.
Yeah, Sean going here, I think was crucial for her. Um,
Yeah.
and it was
You're
even more
right.
crucial for the next person that we're about to talk about.
Luke.
Stop bringing me. Um, Luke is like, I mean, I like not to play favorites, but like right now, like Luke, I'm fully hoping and praying for a Luke win. I would love to see Luke win this season. He's been my winner pick since the draft. So maybe I'm biased, but I just think that he has played a tip-top game in terms of being able to recover from blunders well, being able to make moves that benefit him and convince others that it benefits them. The fact that Sean went this week and Matt was the deciding vote goes to show how much specifically Luke was able to convince Matt that this was a good move for him. At the same time, he like saved Matt with the veto, locking him in more, took a risk of gunning Brandon up there, but like thought that he could secure the votes to keep Brandon here. Like Luke has solidified himself with Matt, who I think would go to final two with Luke, Brandon, who I think would go to final two with Luke, Liz, who I think goes to final three with Luke, maybe not two if she has the option. And I think that on the other side, in terms of Ryan, Faven, and Amanda, if any of them get power, Luke has set himself up in the position where Liz is still the main shield and the main person that needs to get out, and of his side and alliances, has solidified himself that he would not be the one to go home. Um, Even if it ended up being like Luke versus Matt on the block, I think, or Luke versus Brandon on the block, I think like Liz and Matt still keep Luke. So like I don't know, he's just really set himself up. I am really really fucking impressed. Um, I skyrocketed from a five to a seven last week. I literally was almost considering going, you know what? I mean, like, fuck it. I'm just so impressed with Luke.
I'm only gonna go up to an eight. I was at the six, so I'm gonna go up to an eight.
Hmm.
But very impressive. I mean, he's someone we knew we were gonna be watching out for earlier in the season, and he has just been dominant for probably about 90% of the season. So extremely impressive.
Yeah.
He is the one to watch out for right now.
I'm gonna go up to a nine.
And
Again,
deserved.
I'm
Deserved.
rewarding gameplay, and he just this week was insane for him in terms of his positioning.
That puts Luke at our highest score so far this season.
First nine on the board.
Yeah. First 8 plus, yeah. All right. Oh, wow. Blue. New color
Yeah,
unlocked. Okay, Matt.
new color unlocked. Matt. Okay, so whereas Luke had possibly the greatest week in like the game so far, solidified a lot of bonds, is playing masterfully. Not enough people are clocking it to see him as the biggest threat. Every week, Matt surprises me. Like, I think that he can't make a dumber move, and then he says, "Hold my beer. Let me make a dumber
So
fucking move."
bad.
It's insane how, like, I love Matt so much, and I can say this because I love Matt so much, but this has got to be one of the worst string of decisions we've ever seen made on a season of Big Brother. This is insane. In the same way that I'm rewarding gameplay, do I think Matt is the most likely person to go home soon? No. I think he's well insulated. Do I think that Matt is making the worst possible decisions for himself? And it is, there's like, again, I never want to talk in absolutes, but I will concretely say there is a 0% chance that Matt Byram wins a jury vote. Even, like, let's look at the jury right now. Peyton, no way. Matt flipped on him. Peyton's pissed.
Okay,
Who is second juror?
Chloe, we don't have to go through this.
Yeah, Chloe's a
Your
no.
your point is
Diego's a
heard.
no. Sean's a no. Vic is a no. Paige is a no. There, like, and that's like, it's not happening for him. I think I was at the four last week. You were at the three. Um, I'm going down to a two. This was bad. This was so
I mean,
atrociously,
he's just like
astronomically
playing for
insane.
Liz and Luke,
And he thinks that he's not.
and he thinks he's not. So I'm gonna go down to a 2 as well. TBH. Um, done. Poor Matt. Poor Matt Byram. Deserved.
Oh my God, this is God, Matt Byram, man. What are you doing?
All right. Alrighty there, Ryan.
Ryan or HOH this week. I was so gagged. Honestly, it's definitely making like some of my top moments from the season.
For
Him
sure.
being on the Zoom call. Ryan, who would you Brandon. Okay, Brandon's been eliminated. Okay, Ryan, Sean. Okay, Sean's been eliminated. All right, Ryan, you're correct again. Who do you want to Matt. Then they leave the call. Luke, Liz, you don't have to throw it to me, but I want you to know that if I win, neither of you are touching the block. Liz, the fact that you're still here is insane. You should not be here. You should not be here, right? And that's no tea because you're a great player, and that's why you're still here. But you should not be here. And Matt and Sean, it will be them hitting the block. And if I need a replacement, it will be Brandon hitting the block. Because what are we doing playing dumb anymore? Like, and you know what? Here's the thing. Ryan realized that all of them were coming after him. So is he gonna let respectfully the weak players get away with it and like steamroll to the end and play the middle? No. And you know what? I appreciate it.
I do
Was it
too.
the
I do too.
smartest? Was it the smartest possible thing? No. But was it dumb? No, because they're all against you. So honestly, like try if Ryan is gonna have a path forward, in all honesty, like thinking logically, if Luke and Liz are gonna keep coming after him, and or if Luke and Liz are gonna be the people on the other side that keep winning the power, in theory, and are the power players, yeah, switch it up. If that hasn't been working, say I'm targeting the middle, I'm not targeting y'all. If you target me in the future, that's fine, but I want you to know that I'm not doing this now and whatever. And you know what? For that, I say work. For that, I say work. Um,
For everything else, I say 4 for me.
I was gonna say, I'm like, but can I go up? Can I raise my score?
I'm gonna
And you
go
know
up.
what? I can. I can because this was, I'm like, I'm happy
You
for
know what? I
Ryan this
can.
week. I can
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
will. A
yeah.
four. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know who does that a lot? Camilo. When you do
Says
that,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. Sean, final person.
I find it so funny that this is like I think we've haven't like disagreed on someone more than we have on Sean this season. First, I want
I
to get it out there. I'm so happy that Sean was back. I'm like he played an incredible game on 12 and he is a super interesting player. But I will die on the hill that this season, I just don't know what the fuck he was doing. And if this week wasn't the consequences of his own actions, I don't know. He did not play actively enough nearly the whole time. And when it came time to rely on his closest allies, there are people playing more actively than him that have worked to solidify and lock other people down. And it's just that the fact that he was almost able to pull it back was insane, and it proves the caliber of a player that he is. However, this is just it's a direct result of his own actions and lack thereof the whole season, unfortunately. Um, so like he was so close to staying. I can't give him a one, but at the same time, I'm not giving him the memorial three for good effort and it was close and you played a good game the whole time. Like, no, you haven't played a good game the whole time. So it will be a two. Um,
Whatever, I hear you. I'm going for a three. Uh,
yeah, I knew you would, and that's so annoying, but you have your own opinion and that's fine.
I I think if I just disagree. I think if Sean took the right person to the end, he very well could have won. Granted, the path forward after him being less active, yeah, of course it's more difficult. Of course, he could have been more active this season. He was working a full time job 5 days a week from until 2 a.m. Like there are things that are just the unfortunate reality of why he wasn't as active.
Yes, when I say active, I don't mean like around as often texting. I mean like actively making advances forward in your game versus
Right, right,
passively being
right.
like, I'm just gonna play the middle. I just think he's played
Great
passively.
attempt at a flip. Unfortunately,
This is
Matt.
how you campaign.
Unfortunately, Matt is a little Liz Luke puppet and couldn't be convinced. So,
A Luppet, if you will.
love it. Love it for the L's. Anyway, that's a 2.5 for Sean. Oh, now you can see the screen. Oh well.
Um,
Rip.
is this the first week? I think this is the first week where the evicted person has not had the lowest score
This season, yeah.
so far this season. Yeah, I think people have been tied before, but say love you. Alrighty, looking ahead to next
Wow.
week.
Three quarters of
Um,
the people are below five. Three quarters of the people are four or below.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, let's just talk candidly. Amanda, Brandon, and Matt are not favored by the jury. Faven and Ryan are not favored to get to the end. It- Something crazy would have to happen for Liz or Luke not to win the season, in my opinion.
I mean,
And that's where I'm at.
them being evicted would.
Yeah, and I just don't think that's the most likely thing in the cards.
Never mind.
But we'll see.
All right, guys. Good talks. Bye.